What's up, guys? Welcome to another speed build. I hope you're all having a wonderful day and happy Monday to all of you. Also, happy new pack week. That is right. If you happen to have been living under a rock over the last month or so, but you are also a fan of The Sims, I'm sure you would love to know that we are having a brand new pack come out this Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. And it is called Adventure Awaits, and honestly I am super excited for this new pack. I've talked about it in the last few of my videos, so if you're not living under a rock and you are a returning viewer of mine, then you're probably tired of hearing it, and I get it. Hopefully you guys are as excited for this pack as I am. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on the matter though. Are you excited for the new pack? Are you tired of all of these new packs and just want the game fixed? Which I totally get that too. Even though, if I'm being totally honest, I'm not experiencing a whole lot of bugs. There are some here and there that I experience that are annoying, of course, but it's not like I can't play the game. So I don't know. I still would like the bugs fixed nonetheless though. I mean, still needs to happen. But yeah, I'm super excited for Thursday. And today's build, we are not doing anything close to Adventure Awaits. I figured at this point in time, you guys probably just came from a video of someone with early access showing off the gameplay or doing a speed build, and you might want a little bit of a different video to watch, right? So I got your back, don't worry. I decided let's just go ahead and do a very basic home. I am doing a, like I said, very basic. It is a very basic home, but there's a little bit of a twist. So the family that lives here is actually a single mom and her young daughter, which is in the child lifespan, and they both absolutely love to bake. They love to hang out with each other. They are best friends. And mom, she used to work in a business career, and she'd be gone away from her daughter for hours at a time. I almost said days at a time, but that's not very realistic, is it? Like hours at a time. She missed her daughter so much, but she always had this passion for baking, and her family members always tell her that she needs to turn that into a profitable business. And so she really brainstormed some different ideas of what she could do, and so she decided to get this like table. It's not really a picnic table. It's almost like a lemonade stand, guys. Think of a lemonade stand, but for baked goods instead. That is what she's doing outside of her house, and her daughter is actually helping her along the way. Her daughter loves to bake as well, and her daughter is like a natural at it, probably because her mom, her mom loves to bake and is super good at it. Her mom was pretty much a natural since she was a little girl, and so this is like the perfect business for these Sims to have. And yeah, you might be thinking a lemonade stand outside of your house where you're selling baked goods. That doesn't sound like it would be very profitable, but guys, I'm telling you, this neighborhood that they're living in, these Sims, they love them some baked goods. And they actually live next door to the Pancakes house, so what do you think they sell all the time? Yes, that's right. They make sure they have plenty of pancakes on the menu for Bob himself. He is addicted to those pancakes, I'm telling you, and he will spend a fortune on them. And so these girls are taking advantage, and I don't blame them. That is a very smart thing to do. So yeah, I mean, that is basically the gist of today's build. It's very simple, but it's pretty wholesome at the same time. I really enjoy this storyline. But while I'm thinking about it, I meant to mention it sooner, but while I'm thinking about it, I actually, my old mic, for some reason, it doesn't work anymore. It made me sound like a robot, and I got halfway through my voiceover before I stopped to like edit the first part and then go into the second part, because that's what I do for some reason. Yeah, that is when I realized that I literally sound like a robot and nobody could understand me, and here I am using another mic, and if you could not tell already, it is not the best mic. You might be picking up all of the background noise. It's either my fan or my cats wrestling or maybe me breathing too hard. I don't know, but I did want to give you guys a little bit of a disclaimer that yes, I'm using a very cheap mic, and so if it sounds different and it sounds horrible, that is why. But I wanted to provide you guys a video to watch anyways. I figured it wasn't that big of a deal, right? I am going to go to the store either today or tomorrow and find another mic, but until then, here you guys go. You get to listen to me on a very cheap mic, so I hope you enjoy it. And I would assume that it's better than no video at all, right? I don't want you guys to miss me. I'm totally joking. I'm sure you guys wouldn't miss me at all, but that's fine. That is totally fine. I don't want you guys to have to miss me at all. But I did just take like literally 2 weeks off, and I just don't feel right taking some more time off, so I figured why not just use this terrible mic. And I was calling it cheap, by the way. I guess it's not necessarily cheap per se. It's just one of those mics that is attached to headphones that you usually use for like gaming and talking to people online. So I feel like maybe that's why it sounds so horrible. I don't know. Maybe there's some adjusting I could do on there. I really kind of just feel like I should buy another one though, and not waste my time trying to adjust this one, you know? But anyways, let's go ahead and get back into the build. So as you probably also could tell from the thumbnail that I decorated this house to be fall themed. I kind of went back and forth if that is something I wanted to do or not, just keep it basic, decorate it for fall. I am building the house during the fall season in the game. Like when fall's just beginning, when it has like the yellow and green trees, that is my favorite time. When it gets too red, it's still pretty, but it's a little bit much for most builds. But the yellow and the green leaves, they just look so pretty, and they tie the whole build together so good. Even if there's like a speckle of orange, I love that. I think it is so pretty. And so finally the urge to decorate this house for fall finally gave in. I gave in to the urge, should I say, and I said, you know what, let's go ahead and decorate for fall. And I found the pumpkins I was looking for from my last fall build. I did a fall build like a couple of weeks ago for a like large family suburban house, and I used Just Seasons and base game to make that one. If that's interesting for you, definitely go check it out on my channel. It was a really good build. But I was looking for these specific pumpkins. Some of them came from Cottage Living, like the green ones and the little white one, but those orange ones came from Spooky Day, and I was honestly trying to find those orange ones in seasons, and they just were not there. They are in fact from Spooky Day. It is the pumpkins that you use to carve the jack-o'-lanterns with before they get carved, if that makes sense. And then like I said, the others are from Cottage Living, which I totally forgot about until this build, and I found them. I'm like, oh my god, that is so perfect to get different colored pumpkins and place them all together. And then I got the hay bales also from Cottage Living and placed them on top. I think it is so cute, and I decorate the whole front with the hay bales and the pumpkins. And then I also have the chef stand, or the baked goods / lemonade stand for the mom to sell her baked goods at, and I decorate that up with the pumpkins and the hay bales. And I also add some like gardening pots, and I put some plants on top of it. And then I also incorporated some garden gnomes in between, definitely fall colored garden gnomes, and it actually turned out so cute. I absolutely love the way the front of this house turned out and the inside. Like the shape of it is very basic, but at the end of the day, sometimes if you can decorate basic up, it can look really good. And so I'm happy with the way it came out. It was definitely a quick build, but like I said, the storyline is super wholesome. I think it's super cute, and of course being fall themed is super cute too. So the layout of this build is pretty different than I've done before. I've done this once or twice in the past, but I don't think I've actually done it for a speed build. I think I did it before I started the YouTube channel. So the kitchen and the living room are right next to each other. It's an open floor plan, but I do section it off with a half wall. Right now, I have islands sectioning off the 2 rooms, but once I put the stools, it just didn't make for a whole lot of space to be able to put the living room there. I originally thought I was going to put the dining room there and then the living room on the other side, but let me tell you, that wasn't going to work out. Way too small of a fit in this room. So I decided to go ahead and grab one of those half walls. I think it was the one with the 4 notches up so that it goes above the counter a little bit. I really like that dimension that it gives. Plus, it's sectioned off the 2 rooms to where it felt open, but it was obviously, 2 different rooms. And then I put the couch right up against that half wall that is right by the counters. And then I put the sink right there, and it's almost perfect. Like, I put the TV in front of the couch, and literally your Sim could wash dishes while watching TV. That was done by complete accident, but I could totally relate to that. Like, I would love to have that set up. How my new kitchen is, I have a window above it, which I do love as well. I can watch my dogs in the backyard if they're out there and I'm washing dishes. But it would have been super, super nice to have it on the island and then it facing my TV at the same time, which still wouldn't have been a thing because my TV's on the opposite wall. But you guys know what I mean. Like, I would love that, to be able to watch my favorite show and wash dishes at the same time. Like, that just sounds awesome. But anyways, that is how it turned out here, and I'm pretty sure, the Sims 4 Sims, they're really good at multitasking. So I would not be surprised if while your Sim is sitting there washing a dish, even though it takes like 5 seconds, they could watch TV at the same time, or maybe even cook, because the countertop that I left blank for your Sim to be able to cook on is right there in front of the TV too. So you can do 2 birds with 1 stone in this build, whether it's washing dishes, cleaning, cooking, it doesn't really matter. Eating at the table probably, even though the table's on the other side. You guys will see in a little bit. But I really, nonetheless, moral of this story is that I really like the way that the floor plan in this house came out. I really like how the whole house is like really tight at the same time. Like, it feels like a large family lives here, but yet it's only a mom and a daughter. And I don't know, I really, really like the tight fit of the house. And here's the half wall I was talking about. I could have made it completely level with the counters, but I really, really like how it has a little bit of a lip above the counter. It really sections it off really, really good and doesn't make it feel like it's part of the counter, if that makes sense. I am now in the living room placing down some furniture that I know I'm going to want to use. Well, this couch does end up changing. I end up using the one from Paranormal Stuff, which I love that couch so much, but I usually like to use a 3-seater sofa with a love seat combined. And this room is so small that I really could only fit a 3-seater sofa with a single chair. So I wanted to take advantage of that and use the Paranormal Stuff couch that I never get to use. It doesn't have a matching love seat, so I really never use it. That is one huge pet peeve that I have in this game, is that the game developers are just so bad of doing a love seat or a 3-seater couch and nothing in between, none of them together. Very rarely will we get a set, but I guess it is what it is. I don't know what dimension they live in. I mean, is it really a thing where people only have 3-seater couches and not a love seat to match? I've just never been in a house like that. People usually have both. But nonetheless, since this is a tight fit and I could only do one, I decided to go ahead and use the Paranormal one that I never get to use. I love it. I love the fact that it has a blanket draped over it and there's pillows, and I think it's cute. I'm also using the Grange Mudroom hallway table to put the TV on. I do end up changing it to the wall hung TV, but that'll be a little bit later. I decided to use that hall table because it's super cute with the baskets under it. It just makes it feel super homey. Same with this fridge from the Kitchen Clutter kit. I love the Kitchen Clutter kit. I think it is so cute. I love to decorate kitchens in The Sims, and I also love to decorate my kitchen in real life. I if this might come to surprise for you guys, but I really, really, really love to cook. That might actually make sense because I do spend so much time decorating my kitchen and my builds, but I don't know. Maybe it's a surprise for you guys. But I do love to cook, I love to bake, I love all of that. So it's so fun decorating kitchens in The Sims, and I really love the kitchen clutter pack because you can really make it feel like a family actually lives there. I mean, more times than not, if you have a family, even between my husband and I, there's always at least one dish in the sink. And so I really love the fact that the sink from the kitchen clutter stuff pack or kit has a few dirty dishes in there. It just makes it feel so realistic. And then the fridge, I love the different swatches that has the different stickers and pictures and stuff. It really makes it feel like a family with 1, 2, 3 or more kids live here, and they give their parents the drawings that they make, and the parents put it up on the fridge with a bunch of magnets and all of that fun stuff. Just makes it feel super, super homey. So I also pulled out some of these like vines with flowers on it. It looks like it's made with like paper. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the kids can actually make that on their crafting creativity table, and they can create ones for different holidays, whether it's like New Year's or like Christmas or Thanksgiving/fall like I have here. I'm pretty sure that there's different ones they can make. I am not 100% sure on that, but I'm like 99.9% positive. But anyways, I did pull some of those out and I placed them on the kitchen window and the window in the living room. I really liked that homemade decoration feeling, and I can just imagine that the little girl made that in school or maybe in her room, and she gave it to her mom as like a gift, and the mom thought it was so cute, and so she had to hang it somewhere where like guests and other people that come over can see it, so she decided to put it in the windows. I think it's super adorable. My last fall build that I did, I really tried not to put a lot of different homemade DIY looking crafts for the decorations around the house because I thought it would make it look too busy. But in fact, if you meticulously place it in certain locations, it really doesn't look too busy, not any busier than a normal fall decoration looks in the first place. I mean, these colors in general are very, very busy colors. I mean, the yellows, the greens, the oranges, the reds, there's a lot going on there, as you can see with the fall leaf vine that I have on the coffee table, and I have some more on the dining table. I just really, really enjoy how this build looks like a real life person decorated their house. You know, that's really what I was aiming for with this build, was a realistic aspect to it. You know, it might not be the most glamorous house out there on YouTube or in the gallery for The Sims. Obviously, it's not the most glamorous one that I've even made in general, but it has personality, you know? It has like that realistic vibe, and I really love that. And I am now placing more pumpkins because you can never have too many pumpkins. Which, to be honest, yes, you can have too many pumpkins. I've learned that decorating my house. I tend to gravitate towards decorations that has a pumpkin or two on it or more. And so I was shopping at Hobby Lobby and I noticed literally everything in my cart had a pumpkin, at least one pumpkin on it. And I'm like, you know what? I need to put back some of this pumpkin stuff and get some stuff without pumpkins, or else it's just like a bunch of pumpkins in my house. And so yeah, that's just a little bit of a funny story I figured I'd share with you guys. I don't know what it is about pumpkins to me. I just think they're so stinking cute and I gravitate towards them. I don't know. So with that being said, it really was super fun for me to do this build since I have included these pumpkins in so many different areas. And honestly, the pumpkins are kind of the cutest decorations you can have in The Sims as far as fall goes. They don't have a lot of good decorations for fall here in The Sims. I've come to realize that. I think I've used all of the best ones in this build, so that should tell you something, because there's not really that many, but there's just enough to give it that sort of like fall feel. Like I said earlier, The place with the most fall decorations is out here in the front where I'm now starting to put the table at. I almost did the one from Businesses and Hobbies, but they didn't have a cute bakery swatch on it. The closest to the bakery swatch would have been the candy swatch, and that's not what we're doing here. We're going for bakery and baked goods. We're not going for the candy, you know. I did actually place the candy machine at first in the kitchen because that's kind of where I developed the idea that this mom would be an at-home baker. At first I was kind of thinking the candy situation, but I really like the idea of her being a baker instead. There's a lot more possibilities to go there, and this table that I'm using from Home Chef Hustle, I'm pretty positive is where that's from, matched perfectly with the aesthetic I was going for with this house, as to where the candy table did not match the aesthetic whatsoever. It was very, very pink, which, don't get me wrong, I love pink, but it's not a fall color, and so I'll keep that idea for a future build. This swatch that I found on the table from Home Chef Hustle is literally the exact thing I was looking for. There is no bakery symbol on here. I don't know, I could have added one maybe somehow, but I really love the way that it looks. And of course, I'm adding plenty of fall decorations around it. I figured, you know, yeah, it's not always going to be fall in the game. If you do download this and you like the storyline and you make Sims to go along with it, and you have a Sim that owns a home bakery, you could totally change out these decorations around, like the pumpkin that's on the table itself and the hay bales and all the pumpkins around it. You could totally switch all that stuff out for whatever season it is, whether it's like the winter season. You could put Christmas decorations around. Can't think of any off the top of my head, if I'm being totally honest, but I know that there are some in the game. Same with like spring and summer, and there's gotta be some sort of decoration you can put out during whatever season it is. But for this one, of course, it's fall because it is fall in real life, and I love to build with the season. So that area on the right side of the baker table, I really did not know what to put there. I struggled with it so hard. I'm sure you guys seen it, but I also cut some of it out. By the way, just ignore the baby that's just randomly there. My Sim, she put her there. I don't know what to say. We don't actually have an infant in this house. This is just the Sim I'm using to play test with. But anyways, I really struggled with that front area. I really did not know what I wanted to put there. I knew I loved the driveway there. I knew I did not want to get rid of that because it really makes it feel super like used and not too open, if that makes sense. And I would place the white picket fence and then remove it, and then place it back and remove it. And I finally decided that I think it looked better with it there. I hope you guys agree. I really didn't like the way it had nothing at all there and it was just grass, and it just didn't make sense. It wasn't enough space to add like a table, or else I would have added a table if I could make it look nice, but I just don't think it would have looked right. It would have taken away from everything else around it. I feel like it would have been a little bit of an eyesore, I guess. And so I do end up leaving the picket fence there, and then I put 3 hay bales in front of it. At the time, right now, while I'm decorating the kitchen, I did leave it blank because in real time of building this, I was contemplating what to put there, right? And so I decided just to leave it for now, and I'll come back to it later. That's what I tend to do if I can't think of what to do. And it really helps me out. I have more time to think about what to put there, right? And so I do end up keeping it like that, but I add some pumpkins and another garden pot with the round circular like flower bushes like I put on the left side of the table. I put one of those on top of it, and then some garden gnomes, and it looks really good. It looks super cute at the end. I would have loved to put a scarecrow sitting on a hay bale, but we don't have any scarecrows in the game other than Patchy that is already tied down to a branch, so there's no way I could have had him sitting on the hay bale. Now, if I'm mistaken, if there is some random scarecrow somewhere in the game that I could have used to sit on that hay bale, definitely let me know, but I really don't think I'm missing anything. I did pull out Patchy and, attempted that, but yeah, no, there's no way. You would have seen the branch and it would have been so weird looking. And that branch that Patchy is attached to is, kind of ugly, and that is an eyesore, so yeah. Ended up not going with a scarecrow. Just know that I would have loved to put one. I feel like that would have been the perfect finishing touch. Which, speaking of finishing touches, I am adding some last minute touches here in the kitchen. I am focusing on making this kitchen as cluttered as possible, but still having enough space to actually run this home business that the mom has going on. And of course, having the child come help her when she's not in school. And so I am adding plenty of stuff from the kitchen clutter kits, of course. I had to take advantage of that piece of clutter that has like the cookie or cutting board with the cookie cutouts on top of it. And it really makes it look like she's halfway through making a batch of cookies for her home business. I thought that was the perfect opportunity to use that piece of clutter and actually make it make sense. Now, I do use that piece of clutter quite often. I think it is so cute. I love it so much, but it was perfect for this build. It was like made for this build. And I also pulled out that little tiny lunchbox from that same kit. I have yet to use that lunchbox just because I never could make it work. But it was perfect to put in this build since, she is a single mom to one child, and that child is literally the child life stage. And so I thought it was perfect to go ahead and use it. And it's so cute. It's like a little tiny lunchbox. It has a little milk next to it. It looks like she's like either packing it, or really what it looks like to me is a child is sitting at school and is about to eat it. And that's why I just never use it, but I really wanted to use it here. If I could use it anywhere in a build, it would be this one. And then I also included the mixer from Home Chef Hustle, of course, have to have that. It would make her life so much easier. And some more stuff in between. I think it just turned out super cute. And it definitely looks like it's used very, very often, which is definitely the goal that I had. So that entryway that leads inside of the house, I usually really decorate the entryways that I make for my houses, but for this one, it was such an odd shape that I never could figure out how to put a hall table in there and make it work. I almost put some of the Grange mudroom kit items in there, and it just never really came together like I wanted it to. And so I ended up just putting like that circular rug and then a coat rack and a plant with some mirrors on the wall, and I called it a day. I felt like adding any sort of ottoman or hall table just took up way too much space and it just didn't fit very well. So I ended up going away with any of those ideas and just made it simple. Sometimes simple is best. And so that is what I did here. Now I am seeing there is a blank wall that I forgot about on the right side, or the left side if you're looking at it from this point of view, where the coat rack is. I could have totally added at least like the security system or something, but it is what it is. You're never going to see that wall anyways while you're playing, most likely. But I did get the master done. That came together very quick. It's kind of a small room, so I could only add so many items. I did want to put a computer desk in there, but I was not able to fit one nicely. And so I figured the mom, she's not too much of a gamer or anything like that. She really just orders her baking supplies online. She might check Social Bunny every once in a while, maybe do some random shopping online, but other than that, she doesn't really go on the computer. So she really only needs a laptop. So I ended up placing a laptop on the dining table, and that's just where she uses her laptop at. She can also place it in her inventory if you don't want it just there, but I figured it's better to add one just in case. But the child, she actually has a computer in her room. She really enjoys playing video games with her friends and talking to them on the computer. She has a Social Bunny account as well, and she just loves to scroll the web just like any child out there does in modern time. They love going on the computer, and so I really wanted to add one for her. And of course, this child's favorite color is pink. Yeah, you guessed it right. I mean, how could you tell that her favorite color was pink? You guys must be able to read minds. But yeah, it's no secret that her favorite color is pink. Her whole room is decked out in pink, and I think it turned out super, super cute. And I also added an activity table in here so that she had some sort of skill building item for children. And she really loves exploring her creative side, and of course she had to make these fall decorations somehow, and she could use this table to do that. And that is pretty much it for the kids' room. Both of the rooms in this house, like both the bedrooms, are very small. All the rooms in general in this house is very small, but I really love that about it. And as for the bathroom, I decided against putting a shower tub combo because there is no toddler, there is no infant in this house. The children and up, they all can use showers, so I figured why not just add a shower, and then I could put a washer and dryer combo next to the shower. Now, with that being said, I am realizing I totally forgot to add a dirty laundry hamper somewhere in this build, so your Sims will be throwing clothes all over the place. Luckily, there's not a pool, because if there was, you would find random clothes just sitting next to the pool at random times of the day. Yeah, Sims, they do that. But if you download this, you could totally just add a hamper or delete the washer and dryer if that's not your style. I know a lot of people prefer not to play with laundry day. I understand. I love to torture myself apparently and play with laundry day. I just love it. I love having those realistic chores in The Sims. I don't know. I guess I don't get enough of it in real life. But anyways, we are finally outside. The inside's completely done. We are now outside finishing up the outside landscaping and decorations. And yeah, I really had a lot of fun building this over the weekend. I struggled with what to do, to be honest, because I'm just ready for the new pack to come out. And I don't know about you guys, but if there's a new pack on the horizon, The Sims in general, there's nothing I want to do on it. Nothing seems fun. Nothing is as fun as the new pack that's about to come out. But that's especially true for this upcoming pack. Adventure Awaits is right up my alley. I love anything that has to do with family gameplay, and we have been desperately needing more things for the child Sims to do. And so I'm just super ready for it. And oh, with that being said, I am just now remembering that another reason why I built this house was because I really wanted to play the new quest that's out right now, like the imaginary friend one, so that I can get all of those items. That's really, to be totally honest, the only reason why I even play the quests is to receive the unlockable items so that I can include them in any of my future builds. And so that is another reason why I decided to make the child in this build the child lifespan and not infant or toddler or anything like that, so that it would be the perfect opportunity to play that quest. So if you're looking for a build to play the imaginary friend quest, just like I am about to do when I get off of this voiceover, that's probably what I'm gonna do, to be honest, then this is the perfect build to do that. Definitely go download it on the gallery. It is available as we speak, and enjoy playing that quest. I really hope you enjoyed playing in this build. Of course, if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like and also subscribe if you have not already, and share it with your friends if your friends are Simmers just like me and you, then share it with them, share the love. I would appreciate it so much. It really helps the algorithm kick my videos out to even more simmers. My channel, it is growing, and I appreciate you all so much. I could not have done it without you. And yeah, I mean, I just appreciate you guys so much, more than I really could even explain at this point. I'm just gonna keep on rambling. So I will leave you guys to enjoy the rest of this video, the little bit of video that is left, and enjoy the screenshots at the end. I hope you all have an amazing day or night wherever you are. I will see you all on Wednesday, which is one day before the new pack comes out. So yeah, I hope you all have a great day. Bye guys.